Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Rebellion here, back with another spawn tube tutorial for Search and Destroy in Modern Warfare. Now if you didn't see the last tutorial that I did, I'll leave a link to that in the description below. I basically explained how there is this new setting called Equipment Protection that has been applied to almost all the game modes in this game, which means that all lethals and tacticals will do less damage for the first 5 seconds of the match. And if you have seen any of my other previous videos, you probably have noticed that there are some spots that I use that you couldn't normally get kills with nowadays because of this new setting. But strangely enough, I've actually been getting quite a few kills using those same spots every now and then. So it's not really consistent, but there are times where it feels like this setting doesn't exist at all. So throughout this video, I'm going to be showing you spots that kind of fall under this category of having like a 50-50 chance of being able to kill someone. And I'll let you know which spots are those throughout the video. For today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys two different maps today. Starting with Rammaza. For this map, I'll be showing you 5 spots in total. So that will be 2 for attacker's side and 3 for defender's side. So the first spot I'm going to be showing you is how to tube the enemies when they are running forward when the round starts, up to those red towers over there. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is look at this pipe on top of this house. Right here, look directly at it, and then you're going to aim all the way up until you are lined up with this really small cloud on the left side right here. So again, look at the pipe and aim all the way up until you're lined up with that cloud. So right about there. And I'm going to put an asterisk on this spot because this is one of those spots where it is a 50-50 chance of killing the enemies. But I'll show you where it lands. So when the round starts, you're going to shoot right in between these towers right here, and landing right in the middle of the street. So again, when the round starts, if they're running forward up to these towers, or if they're running alongst the middle path right here. Now the thing about the spot is that it really applies to if you are in the middle of the team. So if you are on the left side, you'd aim to the left of the pipe, and if you're on the right side, you aim to the right of the pipe. So what it looks like when you're on the left side of the team. So same idea, you can look at the pipe, except you're going to look just to the left of it and maintain the same height. So again, at the cloud on the left there, and then you're going to shoot. So same idea, goes right through the towers, lands in pretty much the exact same spot as you can see right here. And if you're on the right side of the team, you're actually better off shooting it to the right side of the tower over there. So instead of shooting directly at the pipe, you're going to look to the right of it. So a little bit in the middle of where this pipe and this satellite dish are. And then again, maintain the same height. So right about there to the height of the cloud. And when you have this aimed up and ready, you shoot. So yep, as you can see, it aims to the right of the towers and lands to the left side of the street. So if they're running to the center alleyway right here, or even if they're climbing up here, it should hit them still. The next spot I'll be showing you is how to tube the enemies that are peeking down the back alley on their side of the spawn behind the B building. So this one works better as a secondary spot, meaning that if you have a second tube, then you should just use this for a second tube. Otherwise, you're better off just using the first spot I showed you. But if you do have a second tube, what you do is you run forward into the ruins right here, and then as you're passing the archway of the ruins right here, you're then going to walk forward, and as you're walking forward, you're going to aim pretty high, not directly at the window, of course, but like a little bit above it, so where the bottom of my crosshair is, lined up with the very top of this opening right here. So as you're walking forward, right here, you're going to shoot. And it's going to land right here in the middle of this back alley. So if they're peeking down here as they're walking forward, then you'll pretty much kill anyone right there.
Secure the bomb and destroy those targets. Bomb secured. Move out. UAV standing.
Now I'm going to be showing you guys how to tube on the defending side. Again, there are 3 spots in total for this side that I'll be showing you. First one is how to tube the enemies when they are running alongst the left side, headed toward the ruins. So really the only detail you want to look at when you're on this side of the map is this little cloud right here. It's very, very fainted right now. It's hard to see. But in game it's a lot easier to see. Right there. So when the round starts, you want to pre-aim just to the left of the cloud. So right there. Okay, and then when the round starts, you shoot right away, like so. And it lands right here, just in front of this light post. So if they're running right into the ruins, or if they are running down this pathway right here, it'll kill anyone right here. I am going to put an asterisk on this spot as well, meaning that it is only a 50-50 chance that you'll be able to kill anyone before the equipment protector timer goes off. But yeah. The next spot I'll be showing you is how to tube the enemies that are running just outside of the barbershop and into the market on the right side. Now just like the spot I showed you on the attacker side, this spot works really well as a secondary spot, and you may have seen it a lot in my previous videos. But you could also use this as a primary spot as well, if you don't think you're going to get any kills with the first spot I showed you. So yeah, if you have another tube available, you're going to run forward into this corner right here, and then you are going to aim your tube just to the right of this tower, and you want the bottom crosshair to be just above this piece of metal that's actually sticking out of the tower, so right about there. Alright, and when you have that aimed up, you're then going to shoot. Oops. And yep, it lands right here in front of the doorway, so as they're running out, they head toward up the stairs, which a lot of people like to do on this map. You'll get anyone that's right here, and it's pretty effective, and also is over the 5 seconds, because it takes a little more than 5 seconds for the enemies to actually reach this spot. So it's very much viable to use when you're on this map.
Assets identified. We need to keep them intact.
Oh.
And the third spot I'm going to be showing you is how to tube the enemies that are just entering into the ruins on their side of the map. So this one is quite different and a little bit tricky to pull off, but if you can pull it off, then it is quite effective, especially if they're not running EOD, and if they're making their way to a B, if they're doing a quick push over there. So what you do is when the round starts, you're going to back up all the way until this wooden balcony right here is lined up with the right side of this fuel tank. So again, let me show you what that looks like. So again, you back up till it's lined up right there, and you can kind of tell when you can't really move to the right anymore. It kind of stops you because of this little green barricade. So again, back up right here, and then you're going to look at the middle of this fuel tank and line it up with where this blue rail and this wooden balcony meet. So right there. I hope you know what I mean by that. So again, in the middle of the fuel tank, at the height of where these two lines meet. So right about there. And then you want to actually jump and shoot so that it just passes the fuel tank right up in front of you and into the ruins, like so. As you can see, the tube goes through this crack in the ruins and it lands right in the center. Well, not really in the center, but just to the left. So if they're not running EOD and they're going for a quick B push, then this is where the tube will land and hopefully will stop a few of them.
Assets identified. We need to keep them intact.
And for the second map of this video, I'll be showing you guys how to tube on Petrograd. 4 spots in total, so that's 2 for attacker side and 2 for defender side. So this first spot, I'm going to be showing you how to tube the enemies that are running alongst the right side of the train when the round starts, headed toward the A bomb site. Now this one I'm going to put an asterisk on it because this doesn't work 100% of the time, but it's still effective when it does work. So what you do is look at the middle of this white building and this red building, right where they meet in the middle there, and then you're going to look all the way up until your crosshair is lined up with the middle of this white line and this white line on this pole. So again, right in the middle of where these buildings meet, all the way up until you're in the middle of those 2 lines right there on this pole. Okay, then you get your tube ready, and then when the round starts, you're going to shoot right away. The tube will land right alongst the right side of the train, so anyone that is running straight toward the A bomb site or into the A building, then this is where this tube will land. And of course, they're not running EOD. You should stop at least 1 or 2 of them from getting any further than this.
When they took out Marathon Pro and Lightweight Pro, I was salty.
Enemy assets ID. Grab the bomb and destroy them. Bomb is in flight. Attack the weapon caches.
Next spot I'll be showing you is how to tube the enemies that are running to the left side of their spawn, headed toward the canals street where all those cars are. So this spot works really well as a secondary spot, so if you have 2 tubes, then you can use this for your second tube. But if you have 1 tube, this works just as well as a primary spot if you give the enemies like a second or a second and a half to get there. So what you do is make sure you're backed up all the way against this barricade, and then you're going to move to the right. And as you move to the right, you're going to notice that there's 4 pillars on this building right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So as you're moving to the right, you want this corner of the yellow building to cover up 3 of the pillars. So up to right there, as you see right now, right there. Okay, and then you also want to crouch as well. It does help trying to get this tube past the sign without actually hitting it. So yeah, then you're going to look in between the window here and the last pillar, so right about there. Then you're going to aim all the way up until you're looking just underneath the blue sign in front of you. Right, and then you're going to shoot your tube. And this tube will land all the way over here in the middle of the street, and as well as being close enough to the car as well. So if you have some rushers with SMGs, then you should kill them with the initial tube damage. And if you have someone that is, you know, running an AR or a sniper rifle that's a little bit further behind, then you'll get anyone that's behind the car. You'll get damage with the car explosive right here.
I just played this whole game smoking a blunt.
Target's ID. Get the bomb and move in. That's the bomb.
Hey, you're gonna immediately watch over and rush to that side corner, okay?
Now I'm going to be showing you how to tube on the defending side. First spot is how to tube the enemies that are running straight from their spawn, either into the bar or onto the roof of the bar, or if they're just running center down the tracks. So when you spawn in, you'll notice that there's this pole in front of you. Now if you're on the side of the team where the pole is on the right side of the building, then you only have to aim just to the left of the chimney, so right about there, and at about the height of where this white line is, so right about there. Okay, and then when the round starts, you want to back up and tube so that you give yourself enough space from the building in front of you so that the tube will pass over it. So like so. So it lands right in the center of this train track, just enough to the car where it will explode anyone that is climbing up to the roof right here, or if they're going into the back of the bar right here, or if they're just running straight right here. Very effective spot. I am going to have to give it an asterisk though, because it does take less than 5 seconds. But yeah, when it is in its effective state where the equipment protection timer is not in place, very, very effective spot.
Shit. You guys gotta push A.
Safeguard the assets. No mistakes. Reinforcements are not available.
And the next spot I'm going to be showing you works a lot better as a secondary spot. So if you have a second tube, then this tube will be very effective. Or if you have just one tube, this also does work as a primary spot. You just have to give the enemies a little bit of time to get there. So yeah, the tube is supposed to land on the right side of the street if they're running toward the canal street on the left side of the map. So after you shot your first tube, or if you are just backing up in general to use the spot, you want the B bomb icon to be in the center of this white column of this wall right here. So just like that. And then as you're backing up, you want to aim in between where these windows are and these windows are. We're in the middle. And again, no specific height, but as long as the tube passes over the building and you're far back enough, then it should land where it will land right here in a second. So as you're backing up, lands all the way over here in the middle of the street. If you back up a little bit more, it'll land further in where the curb is, so you'll get anyone that's also climbing up the dumpster right here and into this building right as well.
Assets in the field. Defending them is critical.
Now before I end the video, I want to address something. If you are wondering why I haven't done a tutorial on Piccadilly, it's mainly because it's so simple and there's so many clips on YouTube of people spawn tubing on Piccadilly that I don't really think I need to explain anything in detail, because you can just watch any of those videos and see how they aim. But if you are one of those few that still need a little bit of a guide on how to tube on that map, then I highly recommend checking out Codflix's spawn tube tutorial for Piccadilly. He explains it very well. It's quite simple, short, straightforward, and yeah, I think it's right to the point. So if you need to watch that video on how to tube on Piccadilly, consider giving that video a watch. Very, very, very detailed. And with that being said, if you found this tutorial helpful in any way, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content from me, like tutorials like this, or just Modern Warfare content in general, please consider subscribing to the channel as well. I'll be posting more videos as much as I can as the holidays roll around. If I don't see you next week, then I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.